All right, need to plug in my microphone. Welcome in. It's Clippers Talk. It's alive. Yeah, they don't stop here. I mean, we're in the regular season now. What do you expect? I'm Adam Oslin, and we're going 7 days a week here on Clippers Talk. And this is going to be interesting. I'm going to try something here. So I discussed last night a ton on the post-game show about what occurred late in the ball game with things that went awry, you could say. And I kept harping on the fact that the Clippers are up by 9 with 3:52 left. That is a game you have to win. That is a game that you have to take care of at home, even though it's game one of the regular season. And I will say, yes, of course, there's 80 games, 81 games still left to play. There's plenty of time to make up for this, to learn from your mistakes, all those things. But this was one the Clippers had. This was a game that was attainable. This was a game that should have been won when you're up 9 that late into the ball game, regardless of who you're playing, where you're at. You have to handle your business. Alex Webb said, let's go. Got my Clippers compass last night. Michael Lapadula said, lost a lot of sleep last night. Devastating loss. I understand. Probably see I didn't get a lot of sleep either. Doing too much work here on Clippers Talk. If you missed it, we had 3 uploads yesterday. Make it 4. First of all, Bob Schmidt came on from a Cleveland Cavaliers podcast called the Fear the Fro Pod. One of my favorites. Bob Schmidt's a genius. He's one of the reasons I got into radio. No joke. That's why one of the reasons him and Petra Money are the reason I got into this business, listening to them on AM 570. Bob on the promo side. He's the voice of AM 570 LA Sports and Fox Sports Radio and Fear the Fro podcast. He came on. We talked about Mark Price, excuse me. Don't call him Mike. He'll take a shot at you on X as he took a shot at Kawhi Leonard, saying, he doesn't play enough. So how can he have a legacy in Los Angeles with the Clippers? It was not cool. So we talked about that and also previewed yesterday's game. Then we had the pregame show. That's also in the live section here on Clippers Talk. Then we had the postgame show from Intuit. That's also in the live section here. If you want to hear myself and Carlo Jimenez and me talk to callers, although we're trying to get the sound worked out there. But solid postgame to start things off, considering it was a devastating loss. I understand that. And then I came home, got home about midnight, and did some Clippers Talk after dark for an hour. Order McDonald's. So that's what's available for you right now in the content selection here on your Clippers Talk channel, as we are now 7 days a week. Michael Ochoa said, what up, Adam? Go Clips. People coming in here. I'm going to talk about the final 4 minutes of this ball game with some video here in a second, because that's where the game was lost to me. Overtime, you can say, yeah, the Phoenix Suns were getting to the foul line over and over again. The Clippers couldn't defend without fouling. That was unfortunately a theme and something I was concerned about and talked about with Carlo Jimenez in the pregame and during the game. Are they going to let them play their physical brand of basketball? In fact, Carlo literally just texted me right now. This is kind of crazy. He said, just can't foul late. I'm not kidding. That just happened. I'd show you, but it would give out his number. I can't do that. Speak of the devil or the angel in this case, he shall appear. Michael says, I don't want to blame the refs, but Zoo and Harden deserved a better whistle. I do think they got a tough whistle, but I'm also not putting that game on the officials. Hard to do that in game one and set a tone that way. I don't want to live like that. Now, if there was something so egregious on a critical bucket late, maybe I would say, yeah, this game could have been lost if it was officiated differently, but that's not what happened. The Clippers lost this game late. I'll have to show you why. Late game execution, and I will post that for you in a second. X just moments ago, but I want to make sure more people are getting in here. This is Clippers Talk. I'm Adam Oslin. We are 7 days a week now. Not 6-minute abs, 7-minute abs, not 8-minute abs, 7-minute abs. That's what we're doing here. So here's what I'm talking about. I just went through this and it was even more frustrating after I combed through the video a little bit here. I'm going to share my screen and share my Twitter account, let you guys know what was happening here. Alex Webb does point out a positive. The point of attack defense is night and day better this year already. Book and KD were taking tough shots all night, as we expected. So many things played out and unfolded exactly how we expected them to. Manuel said, if and or when do you think the Clippers are getting rid of PJ Tucker? I'm not really worried about that right now. We got games going on. I'm sure they've been trying to accommodate him and get him off the basketball team since he doesn't want to be here. But who's trading for that contract? Are they going to have to aggregate a trade, compile a couple of players, and make a consolidation trade to get rid of PJ Tucker? Are they going to have to get rid of a second-round pick to get rid of PJ Tucker? I don't think they want to do that. I don't think you want to lose any more assets for a team that doesn't exactly have a bundle of them currently. So check this out, guys. Here is the last few minutes of this ball game. And if I blow it up here, yeah, it's a little bit grainy, but you can still see everything that's going on. That's not an issue. So I'll keep the sound low here. This was, on the FanDuel side. And here's Amir Coffey knocking down the first of two free throws. It's 99-90 with 3:52 left in the ball game. The Clippers are up. They are up by 9 with 3:52 left. That's why I couldn't get off of that train of thought last night. That's all I could think about. They led by 9 earlier in the quarter in the fourth. They led by 10 at one point in the fourth quarter. Let me try to find that score for you. It was 88-79 at the 7:27 mark after Terrence Mann got a two-pointer off a Chris Dunn assist. I think after there was a turnover by the Phoenix Suns, they called a timeout. The Clippers were in great shape, in an ideal position to try to put this ball game away. But up 9 with 3:52 left is where I'm coming from. Now, the play I didn't put up on here was right afterwards, as you see the score change. Devin Booker hit a clutch three on the left wing. That was a really big shot to cut into the lead immediately after the Clippers were up by 9 after Amir Coffey hit that free throw. 3:26 left. Clippers up by 6 now. James Harden brings the basketball in. High pick and roll. Ivica Zubac was looking to set a screen. Instead, it looks like James Harden just waves him off. And I don't know, when people were frustrated with James Harden late in this ball game, and first of all, they're not in it without him, and he makes some clutch shots here down the stretch as well and had 25 in the second half after starting the ball game 2 for 11 in the first half. But I don't know if he just felt like this was too good of an opportunity to pass up or got into the moment a little too much because they're at Intuit Dome. It's game 1. This had an opportunity to be a dagger type of shot to put him right back up by 9 after Devin Booker just hit one. But it's a 33-foot three-pointer here from straight away, and KD still recovers a little bit late here after the non-screen basically by Ivica Zubac. And it's contested, and it's short. And maybe some tired legs there by James Harden as he's short again coming up in just a moment here. But that's just an unnecessary shot early in the shot clock. Just rushing things there. Didn't love seeing that. Then Kevin Durant gets a quick layup coming back the other way. And the Clippers defense had some really bad moments getting back on defense. It's James Harden here who's late. Kevin Durant beats him down the floor. Long outlet pass, sidestepping, tough layup. Ivica Zubac didn't really get a contest in either. So you go from a 9-point lead at the 3:52 mark to the Clippers getting into a possession less than a minute later with 3:05 left, and it's a 4-point game. That's how quickly things can change here. And that's where the frustration starts to set in when you talk about these offensive possessions by the Clippers. This is where the game was lost. James Harden, again, he likes the matchup. He wants to ISO on Tyus Jones. It was working. You can't hate on this at all because he had it going all night. He gets the floater. He gets a good shot off. This I don't have a problem with. This is exactly James Harden getting into his bag and still showing a little bit of burst, a little bit of a push off there on Tyus Jones too. Crafty play. Gets to his left hand. This should be money right here. But he leaves it short again. That was a theme. Not just with the missed free throw late that could have been because of tired legs or the turnover in overtime with their last opportunity down 3 with 3 seconds left. You could just see he was starting to run out of a little bit of gas. He's 35. He got to 40 minutes in this game. I don't hate that shot, but obviously couldn't get it to go, and here we go again. Phoenix getting out quickly, trying to make things happen. Now, the Clippers ended up getting a stop there, but you could see that urgency from the Phoenix Suns late in this game where they felt like it was starting to slip away and they had to play with a little bit more pace and get a couple of easy buckets. Well, they weren't able to there after that James Harden floater that was missed, as I think, it went the other way, and that's when Terrence Mann fouled out of the ball game. Devin Booker ended up going 1 of 2 at the free throw line. He hit the second. So again, what was a 9-point game here, guys, and I need to take this off the screen so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. What was a 9-point game at the 3:52 mark is now down to 3 points at the 2:44 mark. Just a little bit over a minute later. Clippers now trying to force things as the Suns go small. They're scrambling. You got a backline of defense here with Devin Booker as they're in a bit of a zone, it looks like, and just playing in space. And this is just a forced and careless post-entry pass to Ivica Zubac. I get it. He's got Royce O'Neal on him. Booker's shading over a little bit, playing off of Derrick Jones Jr. KD's on James Harden. So even that, just having a 7-footer on you makes the pass a little bit tougher and can disrupt that. But you watch Amir Coffey kind of do a clear out on the baseline to get to the far side corner for spacing purposes. And his man in Tyus Jones picks up on what James Harden's trying to do, get it to Big Zoo here. They knew what they were doing going small. They were prepared for this, and it easily gets taken away. I mean, Ivica Zubac is over here. This pass is on the near side mid-post. It's just a careless pass that can't happen from James Harden as we see it one more time. Tyus Jones snags it. Zubac is a little bit late to get back. Not that he's going to be able to get back in time. And once again, the Suns are out and running. There's 2:35 left in the ball game. They're down by 3. They have to push and force the issue a little bit. This is where things go wrong. The Clippers are scrambling here, and they had a bit of a, you could call it a 4-on-2 with 4 Phoenix Suns with just 2 Clippers here. I know Derrick Jones is on the left wing, and he has to account for Bradley Beal over here. But now you have Norman Powell having to make a decision. Devin Booker, great shooter. You got to stop him. He had the basketball, but he gives it up to Tyus Jones. And this was a great pickup by them this season. I think he's only making $3 million. I know that's a guy that Clipper Nation was looking for some time. And Tyus Jones puts it on the floor, blows by Norman Powell, who's out of position because he was trying to make sure that Devin Booker didn't get an open look here. But James Harden's defense, after making the bad pass and being the last line of defense, he has to watch for Kevin Durant here, who could probably catch an easy oop if Tyus Jones wanted to, just put it over the top of James Harden, but he's kind of in no man's land. He's trying to guard 2 guys here, and it just turns into an easy layup as James Harden didn't want to see another and one. So now we're talking about a 1-point game, 99-98 with 2:29 left. Just like that. Minute and a half later, they had a 9-point lead, and it's down to 1. So not only were the Clippers not executing the offensive side, but you see what happens to your defense in those situations where you're scrambling to get back and the Suns are scoring and pushing the pace in transition and getting some easy ones, as the Clippers transition defense was really bad at the most inopportune time. Frustrating. Clippers back on offense. Now he gets Royce O'Neal on him. He sees Zubac has Kevin Durant on him. And once again, this time a much better pass to the post entry on Ivica Zubac from James Harden. Even that, Zoo had to go up for a little bit. But Kevin Durant gets called for the foul. So the Clippers are going to inbound on the near side baseline here, near sideline, I should say. Harden the inbounder. Clippers still up by 1, 2:19 left. Looking for somebody. And Ivica Zubac gets called for the offensive foul, just being overly aggressive to try to get position as the Clippers were forcing things a little bit too much to him. I understand you want to punish the Suns for going small right now, but Ivica Zubac doesn't have to do this. He catches Royce O'Neal with an elbow here. That's the frustrating part right now. Appreciate more people coming in. Offensive foul. Big Zoo can't even really contest this, although he tried. Now, on the other end, Royce O'Neal, after a stoppage in play, and they looked to see, I think, if it was a flagrant foul on Ivica Zubac on the offensive foul, Royce O'Neal picked one up on a moving screen, an offensive foul. So, no harm, no foul? I don't know. Time was a little bit wasted. It was another possession for the Clippers with ending in an offensive foul when all of a sudden they've gone scoreless for almost the last 2 minutes now. James Harden topside. Amir Coffey comes over and sets the screen to get the switch. James Harden back with Tyus Jones on him. The Suns were willing to give this up over and over again, which was a little bit surprising and a game plan mistake, I would say. I don't know if Coach Bud is going to do this on October 31st when the Phoenix Suns are back taking on the Clippers at Intuit Dome. Look at how the ease that he just gives up. Doesn't try to fight through the screen. Even though Tyus Jones has been getting cooked by James Harden. And I believe it's about to happen again here. Clippers up by 1, just under 2 minutes left. He wants to ISO. This is the matchup he wants. Blows past Tyus Jones here going to his left. Some very good signs late in the ball game, as Dime Dropper and I have talked about it. Blow-by watch is something we watch with older players to see how often they can do it and get that separation, with James Harden being 35 here. Gets past him. But James Harden here loses the basketball as it was swiped late by Royce O'Neal. I think he was trying a little bit too much to draw the foul here. Didn't get it. In fact, they end up reviewing it. You can see Kevin Durant at the very end. He's asking for the review from Coach Bud. They do so. The review comes back, and guess what? Clippers lost it, or the Phoenix Suns won it, to be more accurately put. After they initiated that review, it ended up being a turnover by James Harden, or at least it was knocked out of bounds off of his hands. This is a tough call because typically the referee there is always going to say the ball was swiped at by the defender, so it went out on him. But you watch in 4K and you have 5 or 6 different angles on the Halo 360 board. And while it was knocked out of his hands, it still touched his index finger and his pinky before it went out of bounds. So that means it ends up going back to the Phoenix Suns. And I'm trying to see if they ended up calling that a turnover or not here on James Harden, just to clarify things and then get reoriented where I'm at here. After, you know what, they called that, did they end up calling that a Tyus Jones block? They did, for some reason in the game log here. Was it he who had his hand on it a little bit? So, back the other way, and Kevin Durant has made a layup. Guess what the score is now? Are you paying attention here, guys? I'm trying to. The Clippers are down. They still haven't scored since the 3:52 mark, since Amir Coffey made that free throw to put them up by 9 at 99-90. It's now 101-99. 129 left in the ball game. The Clippers are not executing on offense, and KD just got a layup on the other end. So here we go again. Let's exploit the matchup with Ivica Zubac having a small on him and Devin Booker. I love seeing this. I think it was the smart move. The Clippers obviously were going that direction, but as Devin Booker fouls out here, which was big, as Terrence Mann had already fouled out about the 2.5-minute mark, who was really good for them defensively. And you look at his plus-minus last night, I think he might have led them in that category. So now the Clippers, they take it out on the far sideline after Devin Booker fouls out. They're still down by 2, 125 left. KD is on James Harden. This was a duel between two former teammates. Once again, Amir Coffey sets up and sets the screen for James to get the switch on to Tyus Jones. And the Suns just give it up. Unbelievably. Like, how many times do you have to see this happen? James goes into ISO mode, wants to get into his bag. The Suns basically look like they're in a box in one here zone. Here comes James Harden. Harden spinning now at the free throw line. Step back. And it's just a mismatch. Tyus Jones, too small. You're too little. And he gets the free throw line jumper to go, as I accidentally cut that off there. So it's tied up at 101 after James Harden makes that. Then a really good defensive possession by the Clippers ends with a tough shot from Grayson Allen, who has to force a three. Just absolute elite defense, as we had seen throughout the night. That's off. Big Zoo comes up with it. The Suns have nobody underneath to grab the board. They're going small right now. Clippers back with the basketball. Here comes KD, still on James Harden, now on the left wing. Is Amir Coffey going to have time to come up and set the screen? No, he's in the far side corner right now. Instead, and this was one of the most encouraging things from last night, James Harden crosses up KD with the quick move here to get to the basket, guys. Ooh, between the legs, back to his left, puts it up, draws the foul. James Harden would hit both of those two free throws. Next possession down, as the Clippers are up by 2 with under 30 seconds left. This was the shot of the game. This was perfectly defended. It doesn't matter. Amir Coffey had good defense on Kevin Durant, pushed him to the free throw line, and there was a late contest by James Harden. Doesn't matter. Yeah, he's like that. The Slim Reaper with a tough fall away. Now the Clippers have a chance to win this one at Intuit Dome in regulation. 21 seconds left. Batum's going to inbound. It gets it to James Harden. He's obviously going to take the shot. Brings it in from right to left. First, Bradley Beal's here. Chris Dunn screens him. I don't know, because I didn't like that. Excuse me, was that Royce O'Neal? Yeah, I think that's why you want to get him off him. Bradley Beal's over here. The picture quality isn't great, obviously. They come over and they're trying to mismatch Hunt again. Here comes Norman, or make it Derrick Jones Jr., who had Tyus Jones on him. What does he do? Set the screen. Suns switch everything. Here we go. James Harden with Tyus Jones. Now, there's a little bit of help defense behind him. The Suns have seen this too many times. He's already getting past Tyus Jones, and this is not a bad look, guys. While there are defenders here, James Harden gets up the little runner push shot with the left hand just outside the restricted area. He falls to the floor, bounces off the back of the rim, and bounces out. Here, look at. Here's Kawhi Leonard. He's seen the ball bounce around the rim before. I thought he was going to get down the crouch position like he did with the Toronto Raptors with that game winner in Game 7. Oh, it just didn't fall. And that's kind of the anatomy of how the Clippers lost this game. Well, they had overtime. They had their chances. They couldn't defend without fouling there. The Suns scored right away, and they hit their last 10 free throws. But you're up 9 with limited time left, with 3:52 left in this ball game, and you score 4 points the rest of the way. Just not good enough offensive execution. There's the 99-90 score. This is where the game was lost. I'll get back to the comments now. Ray said, bro, my voice is so hoarse from being on the wall. All my coworkers think I've got the Rona. My voice is a little bit hoarse too. I hope that was something you guys would enjoy, because if I can go through, hopefully, the anatomy of Clippers wins down the stretch as we move along here, but key moments like that where I think the game was clearly lost, I'm going to try to highlight that stuff here on the channel. We're back to this question now. Manuel also says, respect your grind with the Clippers content, Adam. Great content for us Clippers fans. Coffee and Ball is in here. He's a regular. He said it sucked that we lost in that way last night, but the silver lining is the fact we stood our ground versus a stacked and healthy Suns team. I get the frustration, though, because we were up so late. SC said, only T-Man and Norm have the potential to be the second option to Harden with this lineup in crunch time, but they play like, or Harden treats them like, third, fourth, fifth options. I don't know. Guys, in what world is Terrence Mann a second option offensively? He can't create for himself. He's good in transition. When he takes threes, he shoots 37% from there. But Norm, yes. Terrence Mann, no. It's Norm and Ivica Zubats in those situations. And maybe Amir Coffey with some of the stuff we saw last night. Yanni Tier said, hey, Adam, what about this addition to Zoo's offense? When catching the ball mid-range, holding the ball up high with one hand before dribbling, looking for a pass with player movement the way Joker does. Again, those are just lofty expectations, my guy. To be fair, Yawning Tears, Big Zoo hit a jumper when he was left wide open in the second half. I think in the third quarter when he had 10 points, 10 of his 19. Ray said, yeah, bro, my voice is hoarse. SC said, this is why Zoo didn't play much late in the fourth last season, but he's like our second best player with this lineup. Zoo was good. Like, I understand forcing the ball to him in the way they did. Like, there were some mistakes made. Some of that was on his teammates. Some of that was on Ivica Zubats. SC said, Tyus was just on NBA Today saying they knew Amir wasn't running to the corner to shoot. I mean, Amir hit a couple of huge threes. Manuel said, it seems to always be an issue for our Clippers team to close out games when they have the lead late. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think their clutch numbers last year ended up being pretty good. Let me see what their clutch time rating was last season. Every team I know feels like this because the games you lose late like this, they stand out to you more than the games they do pull out. That's kind of fan bias, confirmation bias. Let me see what the Clippers' clutch time numbers were last season. So last year, they had the fourth best offense during clutch time, last 5 minutes of a game within 5 points. And they had the 10th best defense. They were good. They had a good net rating. They were 22-18. So 4 games over 500 in clutch time last season. I think that was one of the better records in clutch time. Ray said Norm should be the second option at this point. Yeah, Rock points this out. T-Man is nowhere near a damn second option, and Zubac should be used even more than he was for our few options. Help me out with the phrasing, guys. Yeah. Norm took a shot to the ribs, said me-oh from Nurk in the first quarter. I wonder if that impacted his shooting the rest of the game. That's an interesting observation. Rock said, we don't need Norm continuing to force shots if he doesn't have it. There was nothing wrong with going with Zoo if we actually cleared out and make plays to get him the ball. Like, that plan of attack is the right process. Getting it to Zoo with Devin Booker on him. Getting it to Zoo with KD on him. Trying to get it to Zoo with Royce O'Neal on him. He can't commit an offensive foul. Harden has to make better passes. So, like, you don't give up on that because it didn't work this one time. That is good process, guys. Rock said the way Amir was shooting, should have used him as a slasher more. SC said exactly, Rock. Zoo should be used more quarters, 1 through 3, but he got into foul trouble that first quarter, threw off his rhythm, I think. I still don't trust Zoo in the fourth, especially when other teams are going small. They have to, guys. There's no option. It is necessary. SC said Kai would have challenged KD's layup over Harden. Zoo didn't even jump. He didn't want another foul. I mean, it's hard because you commit there, and KD can get that to go, even in traffic, and then you try to contest it and get called for a foul. He had just gotten an and one. Carl Tart said, decent Zoo game, Adam. Carl Tart is in here. SNL legend. Clippers fan celebrity. Carl Tart. Yeah, Zoo was solid after the first quarter. They still should have gone to him more and executed better late in the half court. But some of it was on Zoo. Most of it was on some bad entry passes. Ray said, really surprised they didn't call a foul on that last shot in regulation. I think the refs just didn't want it to end that way or decide the ball game. But sometimes you can make the argument you decided also by not calling obvious fouls that you called earlier in the game. Ray said it was physical for one of the teams. I do think the Clippers got a couple of tough calls going against them. Julio said, Clips supporter here from Italy. The country, not the city. Adam, what you think to put Coffee on the starting 5 instead of Norm? Dude can't give you quality minutes, offense, defense at the same time. We can't go off of one game, my guy. My Italian brother. I'm Sicilian. So I appreciate you. Awesome to have people in here from Italy, no less. What time is it over there right now? Guys, Norman Powell is so much better offensively with creating his shot and a more proven three-point shooter than Amir Coffey. This is a little bit prisoner of the moment. Ooh, Amir Coffey went 4 for 4 last night. He hit that crazy 32-foot three-pointer. And Norman Powell really struggled with his shot, especially after the first quarter. You can't go away from Norm. I think Norm went 2 of 6 in fourth quarter in overtime and missed some shots he typically makes. I understand. I'm making the point right now that I wonder about his defense and how much it's going to be affected by having to do more offensively, and it goes the other way too. How is his offense going to be affected by him doing more defensively? And to Norm's credit, the defense was absolutely there last night, guys. They got stops and steals at times because of his defense on not just Booker, but also Bradley Beal. Was really happy to see that from Norm. But if it takes something out of his legs offensively, it is worth monitoring, I'll say. Rock said, we literally kept the Suns in foul trouble by using Zoo against small ball. Look at all these plays. We were watching the Suns jump the pass once. They did. And Tyus Jones, that was a really good play and a really bad pass by James Harden. Guys, they have to do what they did with Ivica Zubac. That was the right plan of attack. It just didn't work last night for reasons that they have to clean up. TT said, it's just one game, so close to winning. That's what makes it more agonizing. Ray said, this was great analysis, Adam. Appreciate you. Rock said, Harden just ran out of gas and missed some great looks. He did. Like that push shot, he missed a couple of shots, not just the game-winning push shot, but the other one earlier off the front of the rim late in the fourth quarter, too. That's his shot. They got the matchup they won against Tyus Jones. Manuel said, hey, Adam, do you think the Clippers' new defensive intensity identity will be problematic for them when it comes to closing out close games like last night, as they seem to be running out of gas late? Well, their defense was, Phoenix scored 31 points in the fourth quarter. How many free throws did they get in the fourth quarter, guys? That's what I need to look up right now. How many free throws did they get in the fourth quarter and in overtime? As I get a text here from Noah Eagle. Non-Clippers related, we're good. I got Noah and Carlo blowing me up right now. We just having fun. TM crew always talking. AM Production said, in the non-Harden minutes, instead of KPJ minutes, I think we should let Dunn and Mann run the backcourt with Coffey, Batum, and Zoo. Sort of a super defensive lineup was similar to starting the fourth quarter, or similar lineups to starting that fourth quarter. Guys, you can't give up on KPJ after one game. You just can't. They need a lot of what he provides. Yanni Tears said, what did you think of the double screens they were doing last night? That seemed new to their offense. It didn't seem new to me. Bonesaw says it again. This is all he says. Is Brian Seaman? Is Brian Seaman what? Was he on the call last night? Was he great late in the fourth quarter? We heard some of that while I was doing a little bit of a breakdown. He was awesome. I was just texting with him too. Brian was on top of that lead slipping away. He and Jim Jackson were fabulous. That is a hell of a duo. The Czar as well. Ray said, Carl Tart, are you working on skits, weekend update, or a mix of both? People talking with Carl. Carl said, Ray, writers write everything on the show. We'll have Carl on. I mean, if he wants to come on right now, Carl, I'll send you the link, my guy. I think it's the same one. It's totally up to you. Let me know. Was Carl Tart at the game last night? They should have put him up on the Halo. To my knowledge, no, because he's in New York working for SNL. Coffee and Ball said, would it be too crazy to consider Dunn starting in Mann's place just to help out with the ball handling early on? No, I've mentioned this over the last month or so. I think he could start in the backcourt also next to James Harden, because it would be similar to what James Harden had with Pat Beverly in Houston, who also would bring the ball up at times, obviously, and is a defensive savant, just like Chris Dunn. Carl Tart said, yeah, I was not. He's in New York. Ray said, blessings to thee. Treat yourself to a Zubac jersey, Carl. Do it. 10 p.m. in Italy. Our guy says, how do you pronounce that? Giulio? Help me out here. Giulio. My Italian brother. I just love seeing people internationally here. It puts some wind in my sails. Makes this even more interesting. Mio said Booker had 6 points entering the fourth quarter. Norm had him locked up. That's interesting. So Booker ended up with, did he have 9 points Let me see. What did he end up with? It was really good analysis here. 6 points entering the fourth quarter. By the end of it, Booker had 9 points in the fourth quarter alone. So that was that three he hit to cut a 9-point lead to 6 immediately is what I'm talking about. Where the Suns' talent advantage definitely rose up late. They were getting into their offense, they were pushing the pace, and that might have been the biggest shot of the game, at least until the KD fall away. Oscar Burrows said, "Can't wait to have you at the Dome, Carl. Good luck in New York." Yawning Tears said, "For Miller minutes, how about Coffee sliding to the 4, Miller the 3, with Miller essentially taking some Batum minutes?" I don't hate that. I want Jordan Miller in there, guys. Soggy Cereal said, "All we needed was Norm 2 for 7 from threes and KPJ to give us more than 2 points and we win." That's one way to look at it. Norman Powell is not going to shoot this poorly from 3 this often or miss as many shots late in the game as he did when he was their most clutch player last season. I want to say he shot about 60% from the field in fourth quarters last year and about 50% from 3. He was fabulous. He was really good. Guess what? Live from New York, Carl Tart joins the show here on Clippers Talk the day after their first ball game. Unfortunately, at Into a Dome, they lose in OT 116 to 113 to the Phoenix Suns. Carl, thanks for doing this.
Hey, man, listen, I'm sitting here in my sweaty apartment in New York. They said it was going to be cold out here in October. It's hot as hell out here.
You were lied to.
I was lied to, at least for
that
right
John
now.
Denver's full of shit, like Dumb and Dumber said.
I am not excited for the cold, so I'm enjoying this warmth while we got it.
Well, it warms my heart to see you here on Clippers Talk and just popping in like this. A little pop in. I like this. So we're talking about it. I don't know if you saw some of the breakdown. That was a game to me that was lost in the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. You're up by 9. You got to close it out. And they just had bad possession after bad possession for the most part offensively.
Yeah. Our offense was not moving the way I'd love to see last night, but also still surprising. I'm coming in here positive because I liked what I saw last night. Defensively, a real masterclass out there from the boys. Okay. So that's something to look forward to. And if we start making some shots, we might be tough out here.
Their defense is real. Yeah. And we all knew that. But as much as we knew their defense would be good, we knew their offense would really struggle at times, right?
Yeah.
It all kind of unfolded just how we thought during the offseason last night.
Yep. Yeah. It was a tough one. I was watching it here at a bar in New York, and everybody's like, "You clapping for the Clippers?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm clapping for the Clippers." What you got a problem with it? You clapping for Phoenix? I get aggressive as these New Yorkers can, you know what I mean? But it was good to see, man. It wasn't a bad loss. First game of the season. If anybody got an extra compass, let me know. I really hate that I had to miss the game last night. I hate that I didn't get a chance to get my compass on. You know what I mean?
I understand that. I'll try to send you one. I'll try to find one for you.
Give me a compass. Somebody give me a compass. What do we
you
got here?
You got that big wall energy, even in New York.
Yeah, I was screaming. I was trying to be on the wall. President of Zubac fan club. Hey, Zubac can keep up with what did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all? If I said if Zubac can play like that consistently, first of all, he didn't drop too many balls into the basket. He had a couple. We got to be honest. But he didn't drop too many.
He had a couple bad passes too.
He did have a couple bad passes. I won't blame that all on him. I liked the way he played last night. Listen, man, you know what? This might be the year. This might be the year that a Zubac jersey gets put in my closet.
Say in that hypothetical scenario, you're getting a Zubac jersey. What color are you getting? Which Clippers jersey?
I think I might have to go Zoo Red. You know what I mean?
The Zoo red are still not out to my knowledge, but they're
not out. They come in at the beginning of the year next year.
Is that right? How do you know that?
So I have heard that. I've heard that they will be on sale toward the beginning of the year.
Season ticket holders like Carl Tart in the know. People are excited about this. Yeah, they are giving you some crap about Ivica Zubac. SC said he has an extra compass for you. There it is. Boom.
All right, let's figure out how to get that.
Get to me on Twitter at follow Adam A. Follow me. I'll follow you. Slide into my DMs. I'll give you my address, and then I'll send it to Carl since he's got like a ghost account on X.
Ray says he wonders if there's a Clipper bar in New York. If there's a Clipper bar out here, I will be the main person
You
in
got to
there all the
start
time.
this. That would be huge.
Yeah,
Big Clippers energy in the Big Apple. That's what we
yeah.
need from Carl Tart.
We gotta represent out here. If there's a Clipper bar out here, that would be crazy. Because what we got in LA, we got what's that bar in Pasadena?
Is it like the
The
49er or
40, the
59er or
47, the
something?
57er, the 57,
Yeah.
something like that.
We have talked with Clips and Dip about doing a post game there sometime for a road game. I think they've at least been there before. Let's see what we got here. Ray said, "Hold up, we need a Balmer impersonation on an SNL skit. His energy is already cartoonish." I wouldn't say cartoonish. I think
Yeah.
it's real. It's legitimate. It's passionate. That was a moment for him last night, much deserved, to start things off in the wall with the crowd and say, "Welcome to the Intuit Dome." You know he's been waiting for that forever.
Seeing him in the wall it almost brought a tear to my eye. Like what owner does that? We are so lucky to have him as the owner of this team, considering what we've gone through over the years. Like
You go from the worst owner to the best owner.
to
How
the
about
best
that?
owner, from the worst to the best, not from the worst to a little bit better, from the worst to the best.
We are blessed.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another guy that wants to mail it to you. He can mail you a compass, a rally towel.
Damn. Listen, Oscar, I appreciate it. Get that info to Adam A, and Adam A will get it to me.
The 36er is the name of the bar. Apologies. And that's in Glendale or Pasadena?
Pasadena, I heard it.
Pasadena. That's not even far from me. I could do that. That's not far from the station for a road game. I could go from Burbank to Pasadena. Dude was doing a haka dance.
Well, that's like some Polynesian stuff.
I can't speak to it. That Mexican Nara said favorite player other than Harden last night. Who do you got other than Harden and Big Zoo for you? Because we already know.
Other than Harden and Zoo last night, I say Amir Coffey really gave me a lot. Kai Jones was very fun to watch last night too.
He was. He had 3 dunks. He dunked on our old friend Mason Plumlee, who I talked to pregame for a second. I said, "What's up, Big Plum?" He's always nice. Really nice guy. I second that, and I also will raise you a Derrick Jones Jr. with him going 5 of 6 and 2 of 2 from 3 and a big 3 in the ball game as well. That's a big shot for him. He needs to knock those down, because if he can go from, a career 32% three-point shooter or whatever it is to then having the playoff run like he did with Dallas last year, does that give him confidence to shoot better from the outside now as a Clipper? That would be big.
Yeah. He looked great. He had some great defensive stops. He had some great rebounding in there. The guy can really jump out the gym. Having him and Kai Jones, like, we got 2 of the best dunkers in the league on the team. That's fun. It was a fun game overall, man. It had me stressed out in a way that I didn't expect to be.
You thought they were getting blown out?
I didn't think they were gonna get blown out, but I have to lower my stress levels. I'm getting up there in age. I got to keep that. I didn't drink my beet juice yesterday. I got to drink my beet juice to keep my blood pressure levels down on Clipper game days. And I didn't have my beet juice, so I had to keep looking away. Also, my attention was taken by I was out with a friend, and I kept looking up at the Clipper game, and she was like, "I can leave if you want to watch this game." And I go, "This is opening night, lady. Cut me some slack."
Well, we do have some breaking news here.
What?
I don't like it, but I'm going to read what it says. Make sure this isn't. This is truly his account. It's verified. Chris Haynes says, former Los Angeles Clippers trainer Randy Shelton is suing the franchise for wrongful termination, among other things, after he claims he was fired after complaining that Kawhi Leonard was being subjected to unsafe and illegal treatment for injuries.
Ooh.
I don't know what to make of that. He said, the Clippers issued me a statement, Chris Haynes said, quote, Mr. Shelton's claims were investigated and found to be without merit. We honored Mr. Shelton's employment contract and paid him in full. This lawsuit is a belated attempt to shake down the Clippers based on accusations that Mr. Shelton should know are false.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna stick with that. I don't know where else we could go with that. I can't get involved in the legal stuff, guys, but I did just see that as somebody brought it up here. Frankie Boy 9. That seems like a pretty outrageous claim. Unsafe treatments to Kawhi Leonard. Like, he has his own doctors. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Adam, this is what we call in New York a spicy meatball.
Yeah, well, there is a guy from Italy in the chat right now. So
Oh yeah, what do they call it in Italy? I
yeah,
believe it. I believe it might be a spicy meatball over there too.
that's more. That is something else. I don't know what to make of it, chat. I that's all we have. So we'll see how it plays out. We will keep you abreast of the situation as it develops here, I guess.
That's interesting. So they're saying, wait, what this guy said?
He's
This isn't the
suing
first
for
time something
wrongful
came out.
termination and then giving a reason. One of his reasons is talking about, or one of his strays is that they were giving Kawhi improper medical treatment, which just
Mm,
sounds wild to me. But we're what team I'm on in a situation like this, so we'll
yeah,
see what happens.
we got to get Charles Mockler's thoughts on this because he has never had much good to say about our medical staff.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be here for that show.
Yeah,
JJ, the boys said the guy just wants to keep his name clean so he can get employed by their team. I don't know. This is way above my pay grade, above my intelligence level. To be honest with you, this is some high
yeah,
level stuff
that's high
going
level
on.
stuff.
I'm not even gonna try. I'm really not. But I do want to talk more about this Clippers game last night because you mentioned how you were, I don't know, encouraged, surprised. They were down by 14. They looked DOA in the first half offensively. They scored 39 points in the first half, and they scored 35 in the third quarter alone. They flipped things around where Harden and Big Zoo combined for 26 points in that third quarter. Like, they were
Mhm.
fantastic once the offense clicked in.
Yeah, it was exciting to see. I looked away when the game got out of hand a little bit, and then next thing I know, I look back up and we're only down by like 4, and then we're up by 6, and I'm like, okay, we got some. We're cooking over here. We're really cooking, and that felt good. And then that ending, it was a heartbreaker because we really could have did it. We really could have did, but it also was encouraging at the same time, don't you think?
Yeah, I think overall it's encouraging, if anything, because the defensive effort translated and they were so good against a team stacked with a ton of offensive talent. And then they battled back like you want to see from the Clippers. They're going to have to do that at times. And then their offense finally got going with the high pick and roll with James Harden and Ivica Zubac, like we expected. If they
Yeah,
just were better offensively in the first half, they wouldn't have put themselves in that 14-point hole. They wouldn't have had to battle back but like that. And then I wonder what that takes out of your energy. Because I think it affected Harden late playing 40 minutes, and that's why he was short on some of those shots and maybe even missed that free throw. And the play where he misses the ball on the out of bounds in overtime with 3 seconds left and the turnover happens with Grayson Allen taking it away. I mean, I don't know what to attribute that to other than fatigue.
yeah, he was tired. He was tired. He was carrying us, and I was happy that he had the game that he did. And I think this is exciting still. I'm not down. I'm not super down on the game. I think this is still super exciting. I think that Phoenix team is very beatable. When we talk about very early expectations of what's going to happen in the West, I do believe that in a playoff series, if we had to meet up with them in a playoff series, I would be confident. Uh,
Yeah.
Based off, if we get one more offensive piece, Adam, if we just get another 3-and-D guy,
How
like I
about
don't
just
know,
give Kawhi back first?
I would love that too. But I watched your whole episode with the other two podcast hosts, and I saw you just really going at people. You blocked probably everybody in the chat.
I
Put
did
everybody
not.
put everybody on timeout.
I had
But
5 timeouts in 2.5 hours, and other people in the chat were encouraging me to. 5 in 2.5 hours?
not bad, not bad. And maybe that's not the episode I was listening to. It was one that you did by yourself. But
That was
it
that
was
one.
it was it was encouraging to see last night. Of course, we want Kawhi back, but in your words, let's be realistic. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get some help in there while we don't know what's going on with
You
Kawhi.
talking
While
about
we have
Jordan
no
Miller?
clue.
Because I'm
I would
I'm
love
all
it.
for that help.
I would love it. I
How
would
about
love
help
it.
internally?
Yeah.
I don't want to make a trade till we see what Jordan Miller could do, honestly. Like, get him some minutes. If
Yeah.
KPJ continues to struggle and it's just one game, 1 for 8, I don't want to put too much into it. But he's got to be better with the second unit because he's an important piece here. If he struggles, to me, you got to start playing Jordan Miller or Bones Highland. One of those two guys at least has to get some run.
Speaking of Bones Highland, and maybe this is something you can't speak to, Adam. I don't want you to get fined.
It ain't the trainer
But
stuff, is it?
it ain't the trainer stuff. What do you think Bones Highland feels about our trainers? No, I'm just kidding. What I really want to know is, did Bones Highland's name not get announced last night? I know PJ's didn't. But PJ wasn't in the building, I don't
Yeah,
think.
he's not. He's away from the team. I'm sure it did.
Did Bones?
I think I saw his picture up there on the Halo 360 board. It's not like
Okay.
that. I mean, he just started their last preseason game, so
Yeah. So there was
he's
some
not
there was
that
some-
far on the outs because I think if KPJ gets suspended, Bones Highland is probably back in the rotation. They have to have another ball handler coming off the bench, and I don't think they're going to put it all on Jordan Miller as a rookie to run the offense.
Yeah.
So I don't think, to me, the reason he's still on the team, even though, as you well know, he and PJ Tucker were upset last year, and it feels like the Clippers have been trying to trade both of them at times.
Yeah.
I think he's still on the team because they know KPJ could get suspended, and they need another ball handler.
Yeah. Look at that. So Oscar says he was not announced, but he was there. He was dressed out too. He was dressed. He had the.
I saw him warm up.
Played. So why wasn't he announced? Kawhi also wasn't announced, but Mo Bamba was.
I don't know. Were they DNPs?
Well, Bones was dressed.
Mo Bamba was announced?
Mo Bamba was announced.
It could have just been some confusion then. That doesn't make much sense. Why is Mo Bamba announced, but Kawhi
is not?
Bones?
If anybody's got any details on what's going on with that, let us know.
The investigation is ongoing.
The investigation is ongoing. We're investigating internally. See, Ray said Kawhi wasn't announced either.
I have to think that's just a mistake or new protocol because Kawhi must have been a DNP coming in, or they know he's on the injury report. They know he was out, but I don't think Bones Highland, obviously not dealing with an injury.
He's the face of the team. He needs to be announced. And I wish
Bones?
No, of course not.
Kawhi. I mean, I gotta be honest. I think James Harden's the face of the team now.
Yeah, but so everybody is confirming what I'm saying. Mo Bamba was announced. He's the first player. They didn't announce Bones. They didn't announce Kawhi, and they didn't announce PJ, which is understandable not to announce PJ. That's the only one that's understandable.
What does this mean to you? What are you saying?
I don't like it. What's happening?
It had just to be some sort of mistake because why would Mo get announced when he's out with an injury too, but Kawhi's out with an injury and he doesn't get announced?
Why are we making mistakes like that on game one?
It's opening night. They gotta smooth things out there. Hey, what about the refs making some mistakes? Were you screaming at the bar in New York about some of the calls?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Adam?
I'm not.
I was going nuts. I was going nuts in there over the calls that Phoenix was getting and that we weren't. James Harden got fouled like 4 times. And on that last play, you could say that the refs didn't want to end it on something like that. No, end it on something like that because it affects us the opposite way. You don't want to end it like that, but you are making a statement. You are making a statement when you end the game not calling an obvious foul where we could have gotten to the free throw line and won the game.
I completely agree. I hate the idea that refs don't want to decide the game by calling a foul. Well, guess what? If it was a foul in the first quarter, make it a foul at the end of the game too. Exactly. Keep it consistent the entire time because, as you say, it goes the opposite way. You're deciding it by not making the call on what could have been an obvious foul. Yeah. I felt like James Harden, in overtime especially, got knocked to the floor twice trying to get downhill and draw fouls, and they were just swallowing the whistle over and over again, almost like they wanted to get out of there. I'm not saying this is why the Clippers lost the game. They were up by 9 with 4 minutes left, but they did not get a friendly whistle either, Carl.
Not at all. They did not get a friendly whistle. I was very upset actually at a lot of the time. It felt like James was getting it felt like, what year was it where James Harden, where the league decided they were turning on James Harden for foul baiting? And it was, and he just wasn't getting anything. He wasn't getting any calls. And last
he was being targeted.
Yeah, he was being targeted because of the year that he had all the free throws. Last night felt like, oh, they're doing this to him again. Like, we're not going to start giving you all these free throws. Yet there are other players in the league who play with a very similar way. You know how I feel about these players. I won't mention his name, but he plays in a town in Texas. Oh, you said it, not me. But he's
you won't be saying that if he's a free agent in 2026 and the Clippers have a way to get him.
And they better get his ass too. And I'll have 3 of his jerseys and 4 Zoo boxes.
The Luka to Zoo connection is very underrated.
Zuka. Let's get a Zuka. Let's get a Zuka. I'm Team Zuka. Hashtag Zuka.
You called it first years before.
Yeah, yeah.
The year was
Hash-
2024, and Carl was already saying Team Zuka. Slovenia and
Hashtag Zuka.
Croatia coming together.
Yeah. Hashtag Zuka on the Clippers.
So Deca Fantastic is saying it went from Mo Bamba, Batum, Kobe, Cam, Coffee, Dunn, Flowers, Kai, Miller, KPJ. Are you guys talking about showing off their picture also on the Halo 360? Is that what you're saying, Carl? Like they showed the picture and announced them?
Yeah. And they didn't announce 3 guys. PJ, Bones, and Kawhi.
It makes me wonder if on media day, one of the guys didn't get their snapshot done or whatever that picture is, because I've seen there are some pictures up there that are clearer than others with player profiles. And I'm like, wait, so why is the one guy being shot in SD and one guy was being shot clearly in front of the nice green screen in Cotton 4K?
Yeah.
Like maybe they still got some work to do with making sure everything's uniform.
Well, Kawhi definitely got his snapshots. PJ didn't get his. However, he is in the yearbook picture, which I thought was quite funny. I do like those jackets that they had on though. That was pretty cool.
And they put those for sale at the flagship store. That's a hot item.
Yeah, somebody sent me a 2X, man. I'll be home in a couple weeks, and I gotta hit the flagship store and really drop I'm gonna drop a stack in the flagship store. I'm gonna go crazy in the flagship store when I get back.
I don't know what foul call you're talking about, but I don't think he could have challenged the non-call. You can't challenge. I don't believe you can challenge a non-foul call. You can challenge, like he didn't challenge the tripping call on Amir Coffey on Bradley Beal going down the lane. They thought about it. He didn't challenge it. I think it was the right move not to, because they wouldn't have won that challenge. It would have held up because while he got all ball, he did get tangled up with his feet and Bradley Beal. Let's see. It was Ray saying the 22-23 season is what you were talking about, Carl, where they rewrote the guidelines for a lot of hooking fouls and foul baiting and kicking your legs out on step back 3-pointers, which actually was called on KPJ last night, who was trying to do his best Harden impersonation for drawing a foul on a 3.
Yeah.
And they called an offensive foul on KPJ for kicking his legs out.
Meanwhile, Devin Booker fell to the ground every time he shot a 3.
Wait, somebody's saying you don't like teams full of nepotism. Who would those teams be?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. You got to explain now.
You talking about the Lakers? They weren't playing Bronny last night. Where's the nepotism? Giannis, his brother? Who are you talking about?
I like both of those situations.
You're pro nepotism.
I'm pro nepotism. Hell yeah, I'm pro nepotism. Nepotism is in every business. If my son wanted a job at my job, I would absolutely get him one.
It's reality.
Unfortunately, my son's not funny because he doesn't exist.
Frankie Boy 9 says, sorry to bring this up, Adam, but that ex-trainer is now saying there was tampering years before Kawhi joined the Clippers. How I hate people talking bad about the Clippers. He's just salty he got fired.
I agree with that.
I mean, that's kind of the read on it right now, right? Ray said, nah, Kawhi did the whole microwave spinning platform videos. That's true. Carl said it. He got his videos in, so I'm not sure. Maybe it was just they didn't want to toy with the fan base and show his picture up there when they know he's not playing the first night into it, Dome. Oscar said the Photoshop of PJ with Jordan Miller's body was the best. Wait a second. I missed that. Did that happen last night? Like on the Halo 360 board they did that? Jay said, I think ISOing James gave us the lead, yes, but not what got us back in the game to be in a position to take the lead. That was the ball movement and all the ball movement off the ball. Nevertheless, well, I agree with that. That group early on in the fourth quarter without James Harden did get them the lead, but they also weren't going against the starters of the Phoenix Suns. Like sometimes you look at a plus minus and you're like, this guy was cooking. It's like, well, who was he cooking out there? He was cooking the third string guys for the opposition while James Harden has to go up against their best. So it's much more difficult. And his ISOing against Tyus Jones, as I was highlighting earlier, I loved the speed and the pace and the explosiveness we did see from James Harden. Like that crossover, Carl, on Kevin Durant on the left wing was crazy. Like that was giving me 2021 Harden vibes there.
Yeah. It was
that
great.
Stuff's encouraging.
He looked good last night. I think he just ran out of gas. And if we had got some more offensive production from the other guys, especially KPJ, guys like that, like we're gonna need KPJ to make those shots. And I think we got real chances. My buddy who's a Phoenix fan just texted me like, great game last night. You guys are never going to be able to tank because Ty Lue is too good of a coach.
That's fair. Well, why would they tank anyways? To get draft picks they don't have? Like
exactly.
They have to win to not have the pick swap with OKC and make OKC have that pick swap with Houston this year. They got to stay in front of Houston, guys. That's what they need. People talking about it's going to be a long week with the trainer situation. I don't know how much I can talk about it, to be honest. Not because anyone from the Clippers is trying to muzzle me. It's just, it's a lawsuit. Let it play out. See what happens. This legality stuff is litigation. What do you want from me about that? I can't be an expert. This ain't the people's court. Jay said Zoo and Mans should walk away with the confirmation that they are bread and butter. James is the wine. They are the heart and lungs. James is the brain. Let's go Clippers. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's Mo Bamba? Mo Bamba's the middle toe.
Yeah. And the dance moves. He's got the quick feet.
Adam, I got to jump off.
All right. Quickly.
Mm-hmm.
SNL. How are things going? How crazy is it? You had enough time to jump on here for a second at least, but how much have you been in the grind?
I've been in the grind, man. I'm in it. I'm not at work today, but it's been a grind. I've had other jobs in the industry, so it's very similar to those. Y'all gotta watch the show every week, man. Just watch the show. You'll feel my voice. There'll definitely be some Clipper references in there that you guys can revel in.
Did you write that joke on Weekend Update this past week? Didn't they make one about Braun and Bronny? Didn't I see something over the last 2 weeks? Is that you?
Yeah, I did not write that joke. I don't write that. I don't. So for those asking, the jokes that they do on Weekend Update, that's another team of people.
Okay.
I write sketches and I write the update features. So when somebody comes out as a character on Weekend Update or something like that, I write that too. But the jokes that Michael Che and Colin Jost tell are written by Colin and Che and another team of people.
That's cool. Who's hosting this week?
John Mulaney hosting next week. No host this week.
Who have you met that kind of was a damn, I made it type of moment for you? I met this person today.
I mean, I don't think it's anybody at this show. I've worked with other people who I met who have made me feel that way.
Okay.
One of them was Diddy. I'm just playing. But
all right, we out. We out. Cut. If the trainer stuff wasn't bad enough.
What if it turns out that the guy suing the trainer also was at the Diddy party? Suing the
man, my channel's about to get still flagged.
Who are the NBA fans on SNL and who are they rooting for? Michael Longfellow was a Phoenix Suns fan. I texted him last night. He still hasn't texted me back. Andrew Dismukes is a Houston Rockets fan and Astros fan. So Pat. And then who else we got in there that watches basketball? The head writer, Streeter Seidel, for those of you who were College Humor fans back in the day, he's a New York guy, so he's a Knicks guy. A lot of Knicks fans in the room. A lot of Knicks fans.
As expected. They got hope this season.
Yeah. But no Nets fans.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a fun room, and sometimes we get in. Oh, my office mate, Devin Walker, who is a cast member on the show, he's a San Antonio Spurs fan, so I definitely give him crap about he's the reason why Kawhi is going through what he's going through right now.
Oh.
But
all right. Well, as long as you're the loudest and coolest fan there representing the Clippers, that's all we need.
I get asked about it all the time because I walk around.
Are you a Clippers fan?
Yeah, I walk around with this shirt on, with my Kawhi Reloaded shirt on, that I bought outside the arena one night for $5, and I walk around. I got all my shout out to Ernie and the Clip Set. I rock all my Clip Set gear, and of course I got my new Compass hat and a couple other hats and I got my full Nike Tech warm up. They got some good new tech stuff coming out with the new logo on it. So I rep the team pretty hard in the office, and there are people who are always asking me how did that happen, and I tell them every time I rep hardcore.
They see a game like last night. They see the Intuit Dome. They see the wall. They see Steve Ballmer. They might get an idea of what it means to be a part of Clipper Nation now. Nationally
Absolutely.
televised contest. All right, Carl. Appreciate you.
All right.
Love you for hopping in here. Be good. Be I don't know. Be writing.
We'll be doing that. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the Clipper fans. Let's go Clipper Nation. See y'all later.
Guys, I think I'm gonna get out of here soon too, because all that's happening now is a bunch of legality stuff and paperwork and drowning people in paperwork, and Chris Haynes posting every single letter in the lawsuit, every single page. What do you want me to do with this stuff? This is not the analysis that I'm looking to do. This is not something that I can speak on with any level of intelligence. I am a casual. I am a legal casual. Okay? You want Harvey Levin or whatever to talk about this stuff? I'm sure they'll be on top of it. I'm sure it's some story that's going to go maybe mainstream for the next 24 hours. And then the 24/7 news cycle and how these things get spit out and forgotten about very quickly. I'm worried about the Clippers on the court. This is my concern. Later tonight, Jamal Christopher will join me. That's going to be a lot of fun. You hear him as a guest host on 213 Hoops, the Lob, the Jam, the podcast. He has come on with me as well. Yes, Clip Gang or Don't Bang. Carl Tart is one of our own, and that is pretty damn cool. I love everybody in here. If you got in late, rewind and see where the game was lost as we did the autopsy on it. Clippers up by 9 with 3:52 left. What went wrong? To find out, just hit the rewind button here. Went through the clips for you. I'm Adam Oslin. Until later tonight, where Jamal Christopher will join us at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Well, this has been another edition of your 7-day-a-week Clippers Talk Show. I'm Adam Oslin.